Joe Tomlin really able to quiet the bats. What made him so tough tonight?
I just think the way he moved the ball around and spotted, changed speeds, used his cutter pretty effectively, pitched inside pretty effectively, just seemed to really locate, and he seemed to be ahead of our hitters the whole night.
With Nova, he kept you in the game, but not nearly as sharp as he was last time.
Yeah.
What was different?
He didn't have his command, and he got in a lot of long counts and got some balls up. He just wasn't as sharp tonight.
Is that something where you know early this could be a long night for him?
Well, the other day he seemed to struggle a little bit early and then got it going, but tonight he just never really got it going.
Clearly took some issue with Dan
Yeah.
Iasonia and the balls and strikes calls. Was that something specific to the ninth inning and that McCann at bat, or did you feel like he was inconsistent all night?
Well, I thought the strikeout of Jacoby Ellsbury's 4 inches outside. That's a big at bat because you have a runner on. One swing of the bat ties the game. I thought the ball was up to Mac, and he threw me out before I even said something. So what if I was going to go out and say, what was the conversation? So I don't think that's right either. Now, if I say something first, that's different.
Andy and Andrew.
With Nova, I mean, it's hard to draw a direct link, of course, to coming back from Tommy John, but is that lack of sharpness one of the things you expect to see from time to time this year from him?
Well, I mean, we've seen him really sharp. I mean, it just happens. I don't know if you say it's because of Tommy John. I mean, we've seen it with other pitchers. Just some nights you just don't have your best stuff, and tonight he didn't.
Right behind you. Thank you.
Joe, were you coming out there regardless, or you saw Brian arguing and then you said you want to get your player? What
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to make sure everything was all right. And then, obviously he threw me out, and then I just kind of, gave him my 2 cents.
Tyler.
A situation like that when not much is going on in the game and, you've already been thrown out. It's almost like you just want to prove a point and maybe spark something with a little performance?
Well, I just want the strike zone to be right. I mean, even the 3-0 to Greg Bird's not a strike. I mean, that's a big situation, too. I want the strike zone to be the strike zone. And I know they're not going to be perfect. I understand that. But it's a real important time. And, for me and the one on Jacoby, it's not like he hadn't seen Tomlin's backdoor slider. I mean, he'd seen it all night. So, I took issue.
Andy.
See anything specifically different with Alex's at bats last couple of days versus the past?
I just think he's got it going again. He's hitting the ball deeper. He's not out front, and he's driving the baseball.
Joel and Andrew, right behind you, Ricky. There you go.
Joe, did you take Nova out after 5 because of the lack of sharpness?
Yeah,
because his pitch count wasn't exorbitant.
It was 95, 96. Yeah. I mean, he had to work really hard to get through 5 innings. And he was going through, part of the order again. Some guys had given him a little bit of trouble. I just felt to give us the best chance, I was going to go to Warren.
And when he's not sharp, is there something specific that is off for him, like location when his fastball or his breaking ball isn't doing what
I think it's both. I think it's the sharpness of his curveball, and I think it's the movement on his fastball and the location.
Andrew.
You guys had any history with this crew where you've had?
No. I mean, Danny usually does a really good job. I've never had a problem with Danny, but tonight I did.